What's up, guys? So in this video we're going to be going over all the major differences between the trim levels of the brand new 2022 Lexus NX. For those of you guys who are new to the channel, I recently myself bought a 2022 Lexus NX, and I've actually done a whole video on it, on the review and overview of that new car, and I'll post a link to that video down below in the comment section. If you guys can do me a favor and smash that like button and subscribe button before we get started. Alright guys, now let's get started. As you guys can see, we're at the home page of Lexus.com for the United States, and the base model price is starting at $39,000. Just a month ago, it was $37,000. So just within a month, the price increased by $2,000. $2,000. That really truly shows you how messed up the car market really is, and the huge problem we're having with the supply chain issues around the world. Alright, now let's scroll down. Now you see we have four main trim levels: the NX, NX F Sport, NX Hybrid, and then the NX Plug-in Hybrid. For those of you guys don't know, the difference between the NX Hybrid and the NX Plug-in Hybrid is the fact that the NX Plug-in Hybrid can go full electric driving mode for up to X amount of miles without using the combustion engine. As for the NX Hybrid, which is the car I got, it requires the combustion engine still, going over like a certain speed limit of 10 miles an hour. Another thing I want to mention about the NX Plug-in Hybrid is the fact that you get a $7,500 deduction on your taxes for buying an EV vehicle. Alright, now let's get started on the interior. We're going to compare the NX and the NX F Sport because the NX Hybrid is the same as the regular base NX. Alright, so the one thing I want you guys to pay close attention to is the screen, the infotainment system, the speedometer, and also I guess the door trim piece, I guess what you call it. So if you see me clicking right here, you see the difference already. And of course the seats are a little bit different too for the F Sport. So it's not too noticeable difference between the F Sport and the NX for the interiors. But it is really nice to have the 14-inch screen display system, movable speedometer, and then just like the aesthetic perks. That is about it, but you still can get these perks like the 14-inch screen on the NX and NX Hybrid as an option, but the speedometer is something the F Sport only comes with. For the NX Plug-in Hybrid though, it's similar to the NX F Sport where you got the door trim piece and then the 14-inch screen infotainment system. And I don't know about you guys, but my favorite color combination for the interior is red and black, and it just looks like really nice. And I mean, the tan one looks alright too, but the thing about that is I don't like light colored seats because they can get dirty pretty easily and stained easily as well. And this one doesn't look too bad. I like the hint of I guess you could call white or rich cream. Alright, so from the four main trims, now we have 6 different trims now. The reason why is because the two base model NX, we got the NX 250, and then also the NX 350 all-wheel drive, and the difference is pretty much the engine. You got a 203 horsepower 4-cylinder engine in the 250, and then you still have a 4-cylinder engine, but it's turbocharged, and then you have 275 horsepower with better 0 to 60 time, and it's all-wheel drive. The NX 250 can come all-wheel drive too, but it still has that 203 horsepower. One of the main reasons I got the 350 hybrid is because one, the price difference wasn't too much between the base model, and two, it's all-wheel drive. I highly recommend getting an all-wheel drive vehicle for an SUV, just so you got the maximum grip on the road for when it snows and when it rains. Alright, and as you can see, it's only a $3,000 difference between the very base model NX and then the hybrid. So that is why I've pretty much got the hybrid instead of the regular, and you get better gas mileage. It's a better everyday car in my opinion. And it's got a good amount of space for a subcompact or a compact SUV. Alright, now let's go over the pricing for all the trim levels here. So the base trim level would be starting at $39 right here for only a front wheel drive. Then we go up to the NX 350 all-wheel drive. It is $42, and the reason why the 350 all-wheel drive is more than the 350 hybrid is because you're paying for the performance right there. You've got 275 horses pretty much at the 350 all-wheel drive, as compared to the 350H, you only have 240 horsepower. But honestly, I'd much rather 30 horsepower is not going to make much difference, especially for an SUV. For me, I'd much rather get that 39 miles per gallon, sacrificing 30 horsepower. But let's continue. 350 F Sport handling starts at 48, so you're looking at like what, $8,000 difference. Yeah, pretty much an $8,000, almost $9,000 difference between the base model and the F Sport. And the F Sport is a lot more sportier, of course. It looks nicer, so it's for those who, you know, want that really edgy, sporty look. But honestly, in my opinion, Lexus did a really great job with the redesign that even the base model looks really aggressive and really nice. Alright, now let's move to the NX 450H Plus all-wheel drive. So obviously stated earlier, the main difference is this is a plug-in hybrid, and you do get a little bit more performance too. As you can see, it's 304 horsepower with the plug-in hybrid and a better 0 to 60 second time. And that's pretty much honestly, and then you get the exterior wheels, and then the NX 450 plug-in hybrid also comes with an S-Sport or available S-Sport package. But honestly, paying 50 or practically 58 grand, like that, to me, that's not worth it for the NX at that point. For a plug-in that only goes 37 miles full electric, you might as well go for a Tesla, or, you know, maybe even the RX, or let's start looking at other vehicles, because 60 grand, honestly, I do not think the NX is worth over 60 grand, because you're not going to be paying MSRP in this market. And on top of that, they always add some features, and some of those features are kind of BS. They charge you, like, mine was over, like, well, my MSRP in my vehicle was 44 grand, but I ended up paying closer to 50. So yeah, honestly, at that point, like anything over like 55, I don't think the NX is really worth it. Alright, so now we're going to go over all the specs for all the trim levels. Let's start off with the engine right here. So the major difference is honestly the engine and then the horsepower. So for the F Sport and the 350, you got 274 or 275 horsepower, and for the plug-in hybrids, you got 304 horsepower. And they all technically have the same engine except for the 350 and the 350 F Sport with the 2.4 liter engine, and there's turbocharged. And for the rest of the models or the trim levels, they all have 2.5 liters. All right, let's go down to the performance. Check out the performance. So let's talk about gas, because fuel efficiency is pretty important nowadays with gas prices going up. Let's just do combined miles per gallon. The noticeable thing is for the base model is 28 miles per gallon. For the F Sport and the 350 all-wheel drive, because it has more horsepower, more performance, which means lower gas mileage. So they only get 25 miles per gallon. The one I have, the 350 hybrid, get 39 miles per gallon. But honestly, I've driven it for 2,000 miles and have not reached 39 miles per gallon yet on average. But some trips do average over 42 miles per gallon. I believe it's because, you know, I live in a cold climate in the DC area, and it kind of hurts the battery power, and also the engine takes a lot longer to warm up. All right, for the 450H plug-in hybrids, you see that they don't show how many miles per gallon they get, and I think it's because that they're a full plug-in hybrid and they're a full electric vehicle for the first X amount of miles. That it's hard to kind of calculate with that. And I think right here, the MPGE, which is miles per gallon electric estimate, is saying it could get a full 84 miles to a charge before it hits the gas. But I do not think that's correct. That is way too much. Especially for the battery pack that they have in this car, there's no way they get 84. And as stated earlier, it says 36 miles per electric charge. I think that is more reasonable. And as for the other part of the performance, 0 to 60 is not that great. For the base models, you get 8.2, 8.6 seconds. And for the F Sport, you get 6.6, including the 350 all-wheel drive, 6.6. My car gets 7.2 seconds, and then the plug-in hybrid gets the best at 6 seconds flat. Alright, now let's move into the chassis. The chassis is going to stay consistent for all the trim levels except for the F Sport, because the F Sport comes with the F Sport tuned suspension. Now let's go to the drivetrain. The drivetrain, all the transmissions are going to stay the same, except for the hybrids. The hybrids have a different transmission because they have they're a hybrid and they have the electric battery they need to use as well. And then the drive wheels is going to differ between, obviously, if it's a front wheel drive or all wheel drive. And then for the dimensions, that is going to stay the same. They're all the same for all the trim levels. The only difference would be the curb weights. The lightest would be the 3,600 pound, base model NX. And then you got the heaviest one, which would be the plug-in hybrids. And the reason why they are heavier is because of the battery pack that they are carrying for the hybrids. All right, now let's move to packages. We're going to start off with the premium package, and that is what I have on my NX 350 hybrid, and it is $3,000. I do not think it is worth getting the premium package. I didn't have a choice because the car came like that, but if you can avoid it, do not get the premium package. It's not worth it. Unless you like all these features right here, go for it. But honestly, from my personal experience, I think the only things that I like or that is useful is the memory system for the driver's seat, because my wife and I share the car sometimes, and also the power tilt and slide moonroof. Everything else is just, I guess it's luxurious features, but it's not necessary. Now we go to the F Sport. The F Sport is $2,200 extra on top, and going to the S Sport handling luxury package. So all it is pretty much luxury package for the S Sport. That's all it really is. All right, guys. Now let's go to the options side. For the options side, it shows you pretty much each individual option you can get along with the price. I am not going to talk about each individual options because it's going to be very boring. So what I'm going to do is put all these options, including the price, in the description of this video below. So please check it out if you guys are interested. All right. My honest opinion and overview of the trim levels is that the base model and then also the 350H, the one I got, are the most worthy ones to get for dollar value. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope this video helps you guys out. Please leave a comment below on what other vehicles you guys would like to see me review.